The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus for reading 5 minutes. Published on the 28th of November 2021. Updated on the 29th of November 2022. The movie consists of 5 incidents and an epilogue. This allows the story to unfold in a measured and artistic way, to be fully immersed in it. In order to better understand the ending and the meaning, it is worth analyzing each incident. So sit back, put on your glasses, and let's get started. Incident 1. Briefly, Jack sees a woman on the side of the road with a broken jack. He offers to help her, and takes her to a repair shop. On the way, she starts speculating that Jack might be a serial maniac, detailing how he would kill her. The woman turns out to be annoying, brash, and skillfully manipulative. She repeatedly assures Jack that he couldn't kill her because he's weak and whiny. Jack stops the car, grabs a broken jack and kills his traveling companion with a blow to the face. This scene reveals that stereotypes about maniacs and serial killers are not always true. Quite often it turns out that they are the most ordinary, average people. After this incident, Jack has a conversation with Verge, explaining his philosophy and the motives behind each of his actions. Through this dialogue and some scenes in the movie, we realize that Jack suffers from OCD. He is obsessed with order. Jack wanted to be an architect but became an engineer. He dreams of building his own house and buys land to do so. Incident 2. Jack follows a woman and then introduces himself as a police officer. However, she does not believe the man and he lies again until he gets into the victim's house. Jack strangles her, and immediately tries to save her. He ends up killing her anyway, and proceeds to thoroughly clean the entire house. He's disgusted by the mess, so he returns several times to see if everything is cleaned up. Before he can even recover from one attack, Jack sees a policeman and becomes very nervous. They inspect the house together, where Jack makes sure everything is clean again, and then Jack takes the corpse away, leaving behind a bloody trail that is eventually washed away by the rain. Jack's conversation with Verge suggests that God himself is protecting him. Through all their dialogues, which resemble a psychotherapy session, it is clear that Jack is a psychopath, and he admits it. Moreover, Jack is convinced that all his deeds will go unpunished. He commits them during exacerbations, and they have a calming effect on him. He takes pictures of corpses and tries to prove to himself that he is a creator. Incident 3. Jack initiates a murder-like hunt. The victims this time are a mother and her 2 sons. He kills the sons, creates a picnic scene, and kills the mother afterward. Jack is convinced that God wanted him to kill people and create these paintings, which is why he made him so violent. He thinks through the layout of his house, and leisurely builds it. Incident 4. Jack's love story. His lover is the addicted silly girl Jacqueline. She hysterically tells a policeman that Jack is a murderer. He told her so himself. Jack also confesses to the policeman. Either he could not bear the burden of responsibility, or he is tired of the soullessness of the world around him, and the monster inside himself. The policeman thinks they are both just drunk. Jack kills Jacqueline, although she desperately tries to escape and find help from the neighbors, when no one opens the door to her, cuts off her mammary glands, puts one of them on the police car, while talking about genders and whether murderers are born or become murderers under the influence of society. Jack leaves all the bodies in the freezer. He again argues about death and art, about their juxtaposition and juxtaposition. From the next discourse of Jack and Verge we can realize that the dispute is not between different people, but between parts of one personality. One part is trying to clarify for the other the motives, to find meaning in its own actions. Jack is a big narcissist who has rid himself of guilt and conscience, if he had any at all. He is convinced that art expresses all those hidden desires that man cannot realize. Incident 5. Jack gathered 5 men and tied them to an iron rack to see if one bullet would shoot through 5 heads at once. Jack builds a house out of the bodies of frozen men. Verge praises his work, and calls him to a hole formed in the house while the police try to get in. So, after completing his house, Jack literally finds the entrance to hell. He descends into it, like Dante. He goes through the 9 circles of hell. Virgil leaves him alone, convincing him that no one could get to the other side, heaven, but Jack tries to climb up and falls down. Jack was convinced that he had to do evil to create something. He was looking for justification and a logical explanation for his actions. No matter how Jack tried to prove to himself that he is not a monster, but a creator, he remains a monster, and the judgment on him, if it does not happen in his lifetime, will be realized after it. This is the end of the movie, The House That Jack Built. If you still have questions or have suggestions, we would welcome your activity in the comments. Have a peaceful sky above your head and see you soon on the pages of new articles.